Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Fadilah. Today I would like to tell you about a thriller novel entitled Postmortem by Ben Elton. This novel is not only about a serial murder investigation, but also about how painful experience in the past can continue to affect someone's life many years later. The story begins in London, where a detective inspector named Edward Nelson is assigned to investigate the brutal murder of a businessman named Adam Bishop. Adam Bishop is found dead in his own home after being tortured. The murder is unusually cruel, making the police believe that the killer has a very personal motive. At first, the investigation is extremely difficult because Adam Bishop has many enemies. He is known as an arrogant and selfish person, so almost everyone who knows him has reason to hate him. But however, despite having many suspects, the police cannot find enough evidence to identify the murderer. As the investigation continues, another murder occurs, then another one follows. Although the victims come from different backgrounds and appear unrelated, Nelson noticed that every murder is carefully planned. This makes him believe that they are all committed by the same serial killer. Unlike the other detective, Nelson refused to believe that these murders are random. He started looking for a connection between the victim instead of focusing on each individual case. His passion and analytical thinking become the key of the investigation. While working on the case, Nelson accidentally discovered an online school reunion website called Reunion Friends Reunited. Out of curiosity, he researched for the names of his former classmates and begins remembering his own school days during 1980. These memories take the story back to the past. As a teenager, Edward Nelson was intelligent but unpopular. During school, he secretly admired Christian Copperfield, the most beautiful and popular girl in school. And one night, at the school disco, Christine unexpectedly asked him for a dance. For Nelson, it was one of the happiest moments of his teenage life. He even shared his first kiss with Kristen that night. However, there is another student named Helen Smart watched everything from a distance. Helen had quietly liked Nelson for a long time, but he never realized her feeling. As Nelson continues exploring the Reunion website, he reads a message written by his old classmate. One message comes from Gary Whitefield, who admits that he was indeed God, just as many classmates had cruelly mocked him during school. Instead of being ashamed, Gary proudly says that he is happy with his life now. Reading this message makes Nelson realize that many former students still carry emotional scars from the bullying they experienced years ago. Discovery changed the direction of the investigation. Nelson begins to suspect that the murders are somehow connected to events that happened during their school years. As more victims are killed, the patterns become clear. Every victim was once involved in humiliating, bullying, or hurting someone else when they were a teenager. Some were popular students who enjoyed making fun of weaker classmates. Others simply ignore and suffering around them. Nelson slowly understands that the killer is not choosing victim randomly. Instead, the murderer is targeting people connected to painful memories from the past. The deeper Nelson investigates, the more complicated the case becomes. Many people are hiding secrets they have never shared before. Our friendship began to fall apart and painful memories resurface. Some former classmates admit that they deeply regret how they treat others, but while some still refuse to accept responsibility for their action. Throughout the investigation, Nelson often reflects on his own past. He realized that he too was not completely innocent. Although he was never one of the main bullies, there were moments when he stayed silent instead of helping those who were being humiliated. This realization makes him question whether simply doing nothing can also hurt someone. Eventually, Nelson uncovers the truth behind the murders. The killer is someone whose life has been completely destroyed by years of bullying and emotional abuse. The pain experienced during adolescence never disappeared. Instead, it grew into anger, loneliness, and an obsession with revenge. The mother believes that the victim deserves to die because they ruined others people's life without ever facing the consequence of their action. In the killer's mind, the murders are not crime but a form of justice. Although Nelson understands the suffering that motivates the killer, he also knows that revenge can never heal the past. Determined to stop the violence, he carefully gathers the remaining evidence and predict who the killer's next target will be. In the final part of the story, Nelson and his team set a trap for the murder. After a tense confrontation, the killer is finally arrested before another murder can take place. With the case solved, Nelson reflects on everything he has learned throughout the investigation. He realized that physical wounds may heal, but emotional wounds can remain for decades if they are ignored. A simple insult, cruel joke, or act of bullying during school can shape someone's entire future. So the novel ends with an important message. Justice is necessary, but revenge is never the answer. Instead of following hatred to grow, people should learn to admit their mistake, apologize sincerely, and treat others with kindness before it is too late. In my opinion, Postmortem is much more than a crime novel. It explores human psychology, guilt, forgiveness, and the long lasting effects of bullying. The mystery keeps reader curious from beginning and to end, while the emotional conflict makes the story meaningful and realistic. One lesson I learned from this novel is that our work and action can have consequence far beyond what we imagine. Something we consider a joke today might become someone else's lifelong trauma. Therefore, we should always respect other and never underestimate the impact of our behavior. Overall, I highly recommend it postmortem because it combines an exciting murder mystery with power life lesson about apathy, responsibility, and humanity. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy my storytelling. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.